Uh, Tell me what are we talking about? Sure.
All right. Well, Kamala Harris gets protested. She gets
Oh
called
boy.
out. Yes, I know. It's great. It's great.
Oh, it's my favorite topic.
Yes, I know. It's Kamala Mamala, the cop.
They'll figure it out.
The drunken liberals.
Kamala Harris, you are a right-wing war criminal! You are a right-wing... You funded genocide for 161 days! Russia was shot 355 times during your administration! You lost the election because you would rather be a Republican than a Democrat! You lost because it's your fault! We have 4 years of Trump because of your 107 days! You are a war criminal! You sold out the youth! You sold out the climate! Shame on you! This is all your fault! This is your fault! We have Trump because this is your fault! Get the fuck out of here.
We have Trump because it's your fault. No, we have Trump. The reason why we got Trump is because of Hillary Clinton and the Democrats in 2016 Democrat primary, and of course Bernie Sanders, the nutless cuckless, the nutless cuck wonder, didn't stand up and fight back. But whatever, we are where we are. Indy, that was all performative. It was really great. But what'd you think, buddy?
Well, I thought Kamala got a little kind of agitated there. Huh? She stood up.
Yeah,
and
I know.
she kind of lost her cool a little bit. It was like, yo, and she was pointing. And oh, well, I mean, I love that people are harassing her, but like, could there be a more irrelevant thing to do than to shout down a drunken ex-politician who's never going to be in office again that lost in the most spectacular way possible in history?
I think when we look at these protests, especially towards Kamala, I mean, at this point, it's kind of moot. I mean, yes, you can rag on her 107 days. I mean, even then, 107 days to campaign, to launch a
being anointed.
Yes,
nobody wanted this woman. Like, she could stand up and say, hey guys, you realize that nobody voted for me, right? That this was like a donor selection, that I basically had no choice in this matter.
Exactly. And
she couldn't really say no, not like she was going to say no. They knew she was going to lose. They saw all the numbers. They knew Biden was going to lose. They knew anybody they put there was going to get boat raced by Trump. And they threw her to the wolves.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because I remember when she first ran, or when she first stepped her foot in the ring, she was hyped up as like the next Obama, next Hillary Clinton, and boom, that fizzled out real quick. But again, you see people still booing anyone that's calling her out, like, oh no, you funded. And again, the liberal crowd, the sheep, are just going bah, 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 bah. Like, once again, it's like, no wonder Democrats, you're losing your brand. No wonder people aren't turning out to vote, and no wonder people aren't supporting you, because there's no solidarity, which is why you and Missy have really convinced me at this point that, like, again, electoral politics, we can't get our way out of it. Now, I still have a soft spot for third parties, but I mean, at this point, we got to look at mutual aid and citizen ballot initiatives and other ways to actually really bring in change, because yelling at a politician now, it doesn't have the same fury. It doesn't have the same feel good moments like it used to. Do you feel that way or no?
Well, I've been none of the above for a while. I think what Jose had been doing in protesting and standing up and yelling at politicians is and was useful. However, it's only one part of a strategy. And if that's where it ends, it does nothing, because they just basically pat you on the head. They let you have your little performative moment. Then they go back to doing their warmongering bullshit. Yeah. And it's like it never happened in the first place. There has to be a follow-up. There has to be some kind of a direct action. There has to be some kind of a boycott. And that's the thing that hurts them more than anything. BDS is making them lose their minds because they don't know what to do when you hurt their wallet. Look at what happened to Starbucks. Look at what's happened to McDonald's in the campaigns against genocide and their support for genocide. It's hurt their bottom lines, and Starbucks has now been cutting back stores. They've been cutting back on their product line, And that is a direct result of people making them feel the pain.
Mm-hmm.
I think that yelling at Kamala Harris makes some people feel better. But what's even funnier is these are Democrats mad that she didn't do well enough for them. There's no good Democrat. None. Zero. There are no good Democrats. From Brandon Johnson straight on up the line. There are no good Democrats. There are no good Republicans. So what are you fighting for? What are you yelling? What are your expectations of her? That she's not going to be a bought and paid corporate mouthpiece that does exactly what she's told? I don't understand what the anger is, because she's exactly who we say she is. She is the cartoon character of Veep. All right. They've already said she floated running for governor of California. That's not happening. They floated her running on 2028. They know the polling is so bad. They'll lose right now, or even 3 years from now. There's no way she becomes president in 2028. They're trying to keep her relevant, to keep this show on, that maybe they want Newsom, they want Mayo Pete, they want AOC, or they want Pritzker or another former governor to run in 2028. Somebody who's run a state, someone who's been an executive. They haven't had like a real former governor, leader, chief executive since what? Clinton? You had Obama. You had Kerry, senators. You had Biden, senator. You had Hillary, senator. I mean, the senators don't do it. They're not good leaders.
Yeah, exactly. And so as an important perspective here, if you're going to have Democrats, try and rebrand themselves and make themselves look relatable, maybe instead don't destroy the political movement and the unity that was there in 2016. But at that point, when people say, hey, Kit, what's the future of the left? I'm like, what left? What are you talking about? Not what was the Democrats, not what was around in 2016, because what was there isn't here. And folks, we're in October. Then comes November and December, and we start 2026. Yes, we're here. And nothing has fundamentally changed. And for that,
that's an election cycle, by the way. That's a congressional midterm year, which, by the way, expect it to swing Democrat. Because in the history of this country, think about how many times, look, people are going to be mad about ICE. Yeah. People are going to be mad about the economy. People are going to be mad about tariffs. People are going to be mad that they're not standing up to Trump. And it's just been the history of this country that in a midterm election, after a presidential party change, the midterm tends to swing back and at least half of Congress goes toward the other party. That's been history. Now, there have been times when they've maintained all three houses, but not very often. And I don't think that things are aligned well, especially with the whole Israel simping. I think Trump's lost a good portion of his own base over the Miriam Adelson Trump simping.
We will see how that plays out, and I will be curiously watching that. So stay tuned and check us all out in independent media, as once again we stab ourselves in the leg covering politics and all the wonderful gems that come with it.